Guys, come with me as I take you to a place where one of the most shocking, violent crimes in New York City history happened. This is the Matthews Palmer Playground here in Hell's Kitchen on West 46th Street. Now, as you walk inside, you see the kids playing basketball and tennis and having a great time, and the children's laughter can be heard everywhere. But it's much different today than it was back in the 50s and the 60s. If this park looks familiar, it's because Paul Simon shot his Me and Julio down by the schoolyard right in this park.
Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. A spectacular event in rhyming. It might seem insane, but the Big Daddy Kane is rocking the house with Paul Simon. And my man Bismarck down in the park, even Spud Webb plays a cool part. In the video, me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
The mama pajama rolled out of bed and she ran to the police station. When the papa found out, he began to shout and he started the investigation. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. I see me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Paul Simon also wrote a Broadway play inspired by the horrific acts that happened in this park in 1959, when a 16-year-old gang member brutally unalived two boys. The young killer was a teenager who was wearing a cape, and it became known as the Capeman Murders. Salvador Agron was 16 years old at the time and was a member of the gang called the Vampires. His nickname on the streets was Dracula. He came wearing a $20 black cape with a red velvet lining. He and his gang, the Vampires, arrived at the Hell's Kitchen Park looking to have a gang fight with Hell's Kitchen gang members that went by the name of the Norsemen. Unfortunately, they picked two random kids just because they were white, and they assumed they were Irish, and they unalived them. His friend Luis Hernandez also stabbed the boys with an umbrella with a razor-sharp tip, and he became known as the Umbrella Man. The boys were caught 2 days later, and they were convicted of unaliving these teenagers. And Salvador Agron, 16 years old, was given the death penalty. A month before the sentence was to be carried out, his death penalty was overturned by Nelson Rockefeller, who was the governor of New York at the time. Former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt is actually the one who persuaded Rockefeller to commute the sentence to life in prison. Paul Simon then went on to write a Broadway musical with 19 original songs called The Capeman that was actually on Broadway just 2 blocks away from the scene of this horrible grisly murder. As someone who walks through this park all the time and knows the dark history and the pain and anguish that has happened in this park, it brings me great joy to see all these young kids playing and laughing and having a wonderful time in this beautiful park with such a dark history. I'm praying that these kids will have wonderful memories all of their lives that they spent in this beautiful park together. Please be kind and loving and good to each other, and let's talk again real soon.